what do the letters in the black belt leadership stand for?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Yeah, of course I'm going to
Well,
ask.
let's walk through that real quick, because that's an interesting study in and of itself. So
Okay.
when you think of the black belt, you've got the B. The first B is belief. You've got to believe, because you cannot achieve what you do not believe. The L is for learning. If you want to become a black belt leader in life, you've got to learn what it means to lead yourself well, so you can ultimately lead other people well. So it starts with learning leadership for yourself, and then learning how to lead other people. The A in that comes into accountability, because part of being a black belt leader requires that you be accountable to yourself, to be accountable to the others that you're ultimately going to lead. The C is for communication. You've got to learn to communicate, and communicate effectively, because just because we say words to each other doesn't mean there's understanding. So communication goes not just to the words that are said, but the meaning and intent behind them, as well as the importance of learning to be an effective listener, so that you got an opportunity to understand and hear what the other person is saying from their perspective. The K is kinetic, because leaders are people of action. You can't be a leader and sit on the bench. If you're going to be a leader, you got to get off the bench. You got to be willing to get in the game. You got to be willing to fight the good fight. And if you get knocked down, you got to get up and keep going. That's the K. The next B is boldness. You've got to be willing to be bold, because leaders go first. You know, if you think about a leader as the person taking a group, it's the Indiana Jones story. You know, you've got to be the Indiana Jones that picks up the machete and begins to hack the trail through the jungle to go find the hidden city. You've got to go first. That requires boldness in and of itself. The E is for equipping, because as a leader, you're not just developing yourself. A leader equips other people who will one day take his place or her place as a leader. So if a leader is not equipping and developing people, they're not a leader. They're a dictator. And then as we move on, then you've got the L, which is loyalty. And again, that builds on the accountability that we talked about earlier. A black belt leader is loyal to themselves. They're loyal to their passion. They're loyal to their calling. They're loyal to the people that they're leading. And as a result of that, they're going to work together and make sure that they're serving each other the way they would want to be served. And then the T is transformation. When you practice the others, your life begins to transform, and it begins to change as you begin to learn and grow, and you get on this process of continual development. As a leader, you begin to expand and grow, and your life begins to change. And as your life begins to change and you develop your ability to lead yourself, you now can lead others at a greater capacity and take them places maybe they couldn't go on their own. So that's the first 9. Now, the last one is a hidden trait that you don't see, and it's the martial arts element concept of Musin. Musin is a concept that means no mind. When you begin to embody what we talked about in those initial 9 character qualities, and you practice them to the point they become second nature, you don't have to think, what would a leader do in this situation? Because it becomes who you are.